Buying a cheap plant in a garden center is fun and it's nice to start with bonsai, but it's also very difficult. Starting a tree like this into a bonsai, it's much more difficult than buying a bonsai tree in a store and maintaining it. So designing your own tree, it's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge. This tree is a Juniper communis, green carpet. And there's potential for bonsai, but it's hard to see. This variety of juniper is a variety that creeps, so it stays low to the soil and it doesn't really grow upright. So great material to create a kangai, hang kangai, or a cascading tree. So basically the tree will remain this tall and there will be one big branch, trunk leader growing to either direction. So that's where we have to choose which one are we going to keep. So studying the tree, we have some options. One is to keep this one, a long extension with some movement in it as well. And the other option might be this one, but it's more thin and not really growing nicely from the trunk. So I don't need to study the tree all that much. I'll choose this one now as a new trunk leader. And the other branches I will shorten quite a bit so that all the energy of the tree will be directed into this branch and this can develop. Today is the first styling of this tree, so I'm not trying to style bonsai out of this plant in one go. I do want to repot today because it's planted in horrible soil. So what I'm going to do is repot the tree, put it in proper soil. That's the big stress factor for the tree. And then a bit of pruning, but not wiring and not anything else. So I'll begin with pruning. So like I said, I'm going to keep this one and shorten all the other branches quite a bit. I don't need to be very precise about it. I'm just going to reduce them. Alright, that will do for now. So I'm not going to prune anything else, but I am going to repot. So as you can see, the roots are healthy, they're growing around, circling on the interior of the pot, so it's definitely time to repot. And it's fall right now, so it's a good time to do this kind of pruning work. It's not an ideal time to repot, but it's fine. The tree is slowing down, going into November now. What I will have to do is to make sure to protect the tree from very low temperatures in mid-winter.
Before continuing, I'd like to show you our brand new Bonsai Care app. The app provides tree species specific information for all your trees, and it can set smart reminders to optimize the care for your bonsai. It is available for free in the app stores.
Alright, so finished with all the pruning and untangling the roots. We took off quite a bit, but this is more than enough to sustain the tree. I have a few pots here, but I think the only size that fits the tree well is this one, and the color and shape is quite nice for the tree. Ideally, because we're growing this into a cascading or semi-cascading tree, I'd like a bit taller pot so that the tree can grow downwards. But for now, this pot is absolutely fine. So we'll place this in the pot, and like I said, that's all we'll do today. So in 1 year from now, when the tree recovered, we'll do more pruning, wiring, and really set the tree in shape. But for now, I think this is a good first step in the progress towards a bonsai.
We add a layer of soil before placing the tree into the pot. The soil mixture we use is a blend of akadama, lava rock and pumice. You can read more about bonsai soil on our website, bonsaiempire.com. Place the tree slightly off-center in the pot and make sure to plant it at the right angle. Using the 2 long wires, we firmly attach the tree to the pot.
All right, the story of the tree continues, and we're in fall right now, so I think it's about a year ago since you last saw the tree. You can see what happened over summer. So this entire section here died off, with only these 2 branches in the top part of the tree still alive. So that's a little a bummer, but we'll see if we can make something else out of it. This is bonsai, sometimes branches die off. The strange thing is that all these branches are very healthy. So it's only this section that somehow decided that it was the moment to die. Anyway, we'll have to work with what we got. So I thought about using these 2 branches somehow, but they're a little long and leggy, straight, so I don't think we can really use them. So if we take these away, then we can make this entire section here as a deadwood feature, which could look really nice. We'll have to strip off all the bark and show it off. And then the section here, which is on the back right now, the old back branch, this is still quite flexible, so we could wire it up with thick wire and bring it back up to shape a new apex over in this area and use this as the main trunk leader for the cascading tree. So I think that's the plan for today. So a change of plan, but I think this could turn out nicely. And the deadwood will of course be a feature of the tree. So I'll prune these 2 out. And all the dead things over here, the thin branches we can't really use for the gin, but all these thicker branches we'll use in our end result without the bark. All right, I'll spin this around one more time so that you can see it. The next step is to take off the bark of all this deadwood. So that's first up. I have a few sharp tools here, which are basically knives, but with a bit of a curve, so that it's just easier to scrape off. Flat knife as well, and I really like these ones as well. I'm not actually quite sure what they're named, but it's really useful for scraping. So let's call it a scraper. But this is the tool that I use most for just scraping away all the bark here. So we'll begin with that, then wire up the tree, This will be a big change. I will add some movement in here as well, wire up these branches and set the tree in a new shape. And then you'll see us again maybe in half a year or a year from now, hoping the tree is doing better than it did last summer.
If you like this video, please help us by hitting the like button or subscribe to our channel. Learn how to create your own bonsai trees by enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. We explain techniques like pruning, wiring and repotting, and you can ask questions to the teachers. For the curriculums and free lessons, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses.